turning in circles at the sight of the many, many doors. She crosses to one and tries the handle. She goes to the next door on her left. She tries a third. She uses both hands on it. A fourth door won't budge either. Alice faces the center of the chamber. As the young woman crosses the room, we peer up the stem of a glass-topped pedestal table, which holds a key. Alice picks it up, then tries unlocking the doors. She inserts the key into one lock and yanks on the knob. She goes to another. She pushes aside a curtain and kneels to a door only 2 feet tall. Alice inserts the key. Daylight shines on her curious face. Alice pokes her head through, but her body is too big to fit. She withdraws her head and sits back on the circular floor. The tiny door swings shut. Alice's gaze drifts to a bottle which sits atop the small table. With a curious look, she rises from the floor and heads over. Light shines through the bottle's glass, illuminating the amber liquid inside. Alice sets the key on the table and picks up the bottle. A tag around its neck reads, "Drink me." She removes the cork and sniffs the liquid. She winces, then eyes the drink.
So you dream.
Tilting her head back, she takes a long swig, then corks the bottle. She shrinks. As her body grows smaller, her head sinks into her dress, and she gets lost inside its folds of fabric. She peeks out from under the layered skirt of her gown, glances around, then examines herself. Wearing only a loose-fitting full slip, Alice jogs to the tiny door and jiggles its knob. She finds it locked, then turns back to the table in the center of the room and races over. Standing underneath the table's glass top, she spies the key resting above. She raises her arms and jumps. Her hands catch the tabletop a few feet above her, then slip off.
You'd think she would remember all this from the first time.
You've brought the wrong Alice.
She's the right one. I'm certain of it.
Alice tries again and loses her grip. Stepping back, she notices a tiny box at the foot of the table. She crouches beside it and lifts its lid. Inside, she finds a piece of cake. A message written on the spongy square reads, "Eat me." Alice looks up to the key overhead, then shifts her gaze back to the cake. She takes a bite and chews thoughtfully. Setting down the cake, she stands, then furrows her brow as she starts to grow bigger. Her body sprouts upward, surpassing the height of the tabletop and continuing toward the ceiling. As her head passes the chandelier and pushes against the ceiling, Alice slouches and braces her arms against a wall. We watch her through a keyhole.
She's the wrong Alice.
Give her a chance.
Alice stoops and takes the key from the tabletop. Turning it in her now giant fingers, she glances at the tiny door, then uncorks the bottle and guzzles the amber liquid. She cringes. She sets the bottle back on the table. As she straightens, she grows smaller. She looks down to see the checkered floor moving closer. Tilting her head back, she watches the chandelier on the ceiling shrink into the distance. She hurries to the tiny door, her head now only a foot higher than its frame. Unlocking it, she peers through the opening, then steps out into a lush, overgrown garden. The door closes, revealing itself to be part of a freestanding wall at the top of the hill. As Alice heads down some steps, insect-like creatures with long tails flit through the air. She watches them, then moves through the wrought iron gate of a decrepit stone wall. A pale green pig scampers across her path.